1 second. I'm going to randomize this thing. No, that's enough for me. Alright, so it looks like the way this game is going to go is you get into the game, for whatever reason you have to do this indicator crap. Once you've done it, you just keep hitting spacebar to hit people. And if you hit spacebar early, it glitches the game. This is unplayable. This sucks. Well, this sucks. I don't know what else to say. What is it that's resetting everything? It's zeroed out. That is never going to happen in quite a few use cases. So we need to do another one. We need to say if golf ball is leaving the frame on any side. We need to do that same thing. We need to destroy it and leave it at count of 0. Maybe that'll fix it. Well, it's something. It's still pretty fundamentally broken, but at least there's something to do. So let me add some points to something in the flame somewhere. Alright, we're going to do the 1, 3, and 10 for the point. I don't even know why. They're all the same. Let's do 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so there's no way to lose. So basically the way this is going to go, start the game, Ignore all these contradictory directions that aren't true. Press spacebar to start. Select your distance that you're locked into forever. And then it doesn't show your score because this is stupid as shit. Oh, because I gave it no maximum value. That's my fault. Like how he just elected to not hit the side on that one. Logic's totally there, just didn't work. I'm gonna name these stupid things that stops happening. Backdrop 7, what the? Oh god, did I really? Sorry buddy, we're almost there again. Okay, so now I should actually add the score. And it doesn't! I mean, I just could not be more angry at every single thing this stupid program does. Everything's wrong. Is it counted? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Woo! There's a score now. I'm going to change these spawners to every 3 seconds, and then I'm going to publish this thing, because I don't ever want to look at this again. That's a lie. I'll probably come back tomorrow and see if I can get it to at least reset the shot properly. I mean, I've already broken the 8-hour mark anyway. What's the difference, right? Okay, so now let's run it from scratch. So there's no way to lose. I mean, there's barely any game to it, but it functions and it's not quite as glitchy as it was. So I'm going to call it a night on this piece of crap. Let me get it export worthy here. If it can so be called. Excuse me. I'm going to change all this. This is all... I'm going to see if I can explain this a little bit better. Good enough. Good enough. Actually, it's not at all. This is an eyesore, and I shouldn't even be affixing my name to it. But I made a promise. Dude, I'm glad you did. I completely ruined this game. It's a joke. But it's mine, and the swing animation looks cool, and the song's pretty good, so some good came out of it. Cool. Alright, let me make sure this exports. Hey, you're not alone, man. I practically fell asleep while doing it, so make sure it's in proper export. We are Swift for Adobe. We're good. Sweet, exported first try. I love it. All right. Now, and pardon me for not letting you see my FTP info, but do need to keep some things secret, even if my weird cluttered desktop is no longer a secret. Just doing some uploading here real quick, and then I'll link y'all. Yeah, oh, I'm definitely gonna put it out. I'm currently uploading it right now, and then I got to make a PHP page to house the Flash, and then I'll toss y'all a link, and then I will go cry myself to sleep. At least I can upload to FileZilla while streaming. That's good. Alright, let me rig up a quick PHP page to house this thing, and then we're good. Alrighty, let me get all this stuff all properfied. Okay, that should do it. Let me give it a little test play here real quick to make sure I did everything correctly, and I will link you. Sorry that was so disappointing, everybody. I was on it for a little while there, and then I really don't know where everything went wrong, but all of a sudden everything broke. I really think it's because I didn't notate anything at all. I just assumed it was going to work as straightforward as the first couple that I did, and I should have realized that pretty much everything about the scope was not necessarily way bigger, but just really different. And I should have taken a little more time. I should have spent less time on art and more time trying to get the fundamentals working. Alrighty. See if I can load this thing. Alright, first play of the Swift version. Works, sort of. There we Oh, we spinning. Oh man, I'm spinning right now in extreme frustration and self-disappointment. But you know what? I spent 8 hours. I got a lot of good work done. I really didn't learn anything coding side from this because all the stuff that I wanted to learn I just wasn't able to do. And you know what? That's actually possibly the most honest lesson I could impart to everybody from this thing. The amount of successes versus failures, it's just hilarious how many things I have attempted to do and failed. So this is honestly par of the course. I kind of wish I would have been a little luckier than average given that I had some people watching, but hey, you know, these things happen. I'm proud of the music. I'm proud of especially proud of the swinging animation. I don't know where that came from, but it looks kind of decent. It's playable. It runs. It's no longer outwardly buggy. You can't get the state into a weird spot the way you could. It could have honestly gone quite a bit worse. And I got a decent amount of stuff done in 8 hours any way you slice it. So, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I could have been happier, but I'm like 80% happy with it. So that works for me. Let me link you guys real quick. Even though you probably saw where it just was, I'll make this easier. That should be it. I'm going to click it and see if it works. Yep. That's the link, people. Just keep in mind that there's literally no way to lose. There is no loss condition. I honestly wasn't even sure what that would have been going into it, so there's definitely not one now that I tanked it. So well, before I shut down the stream, I'm going to play all 3 of my Flash games and just have a real good time. So I'm going to start with Gloving Lawyer. Play a round of this, I'm going to play a round of Tanks, and then I'm going to play a little bit of Murderatti, and then I'm going to sign off. Because I might as well enjoy games with friends. The series is now complete. With giant ass air quotes around the word complete. So let's pick up some paper planes and murder some lawyers. Do this thing. There we go. Boom. Boom. But as I'm sure you guys can see from what I'm playing right now, getting this game working conceptually was so much easier. There were so fewer moving parts in this one than there were in Murderatti. Well said. You know what? It's not a bug then. It's a feature. It's a feature because Murderatti is the only man on this earth that just don't lose. You can't lose when you murder him, and you Murderatti, boy. So yeah, that's how we do this. Oh, I already played a game of Glove and Lawyer. Let's do. Now let's move the world of Naga tanks. Do a little bit of tanking. And by the way, if you're noticing all this stuff is with the regular font. After I finished the 8-hour jams, I went back in. Woo! 100 points. Barnes, yeah, the Barnes is about as good as it gets. As you'll notice, the fonts themselves are the font that I made. That's because after my 8 hours were up, I went back in and I just did a whole lot of little cosmetic fixes. I went and swapped out all the crappy looking text painstakingly, letter at a time, for my real text. So I didn't really add anything to the scope of any of the games. I just made them look a little nicer with a little bit of extra time. I know that still might be a little bit dishonest since I claim, you know, a rigid 8 hours. Rigid. But there you have it. So let's tank around a little bit. That gold ammo. Oh, I am running everything. This one was a lot like Lawyer in terms of the logic of what's happening, but there are a lot of little tiny things that are a little more from a programming perspective. But this was basically just a slight scope expansion in terms of how you move and exactly how stuff works. So rigid. I'm going to be taking shit for that phraseology for probably the rest of my 20s. But yeah, this is, at its core, it's a very, very similar game to Glove and Lawyer. And Glove and Lawyer itself is actually really similar to one of the first game that I ever actually exported as a Flash game, which was something called Brutal Alien Throwdown that I made years ago. So, when you think about it in that context, Murderatti is like hilariously more complicated of a game than either of these two, because I had no idea what I was doing going through that. Now it's going to get difficult because I'm out of ammo and there's a super strong guy on the stage. And he's going to shoot me and I can't dodge it. Now we can bring it back. Now we're alright. Damn. And they keep spawning the hard guys. Oh. Alright, so 31 kills on tanks. And let's do Murderatti for good measure. So rigid. And I gotta admit, spinning Murderatti is cooler than all 4 spinning tanks combined. So I will say, on a title screen by title screen basis, spinning Murderatti is pretty much the coolest thing I've ever put on any game in my entire life. I mean, he's just spinning. Oh yeah, music in this one is murdering. Which is what you're doing, it's Murderatti. And you cannot hold the direction key to have the arrow move. One of the many things that I wanted to do, kind of an interesting formula for like easing, depending on how long you hold the button. So if you've ever played Mega Man, cool, he just didn't bounce. That's fantastic. That's a flash exporter problem that works every time on the Yeah, they're just not bouncing off that side. What the hell? That's weird. I don't know why that's happening. That is very true. This is a golf shoot 'em up. That is the first of its kind. There was a Commodore, I want to say Commodore 64, but my memory is not the greatest. You can thank all the years I spent not going to college for that, due to what I was doing instead of going to college. There's an old game, it's called Ninja Golf, and it is hilarious. You hit a golf shot, and then as soon as you hit the golf shot, it goes into like ninja platformer mode, and you whoop the shit out of a whole bunch of enemies on your way to your next shot. It's a hilarious game, and it's just incredibly weird and bizarre, and in a lot of ways this was sort of an homage to that, or at least it's supposed to be. Man, I really want to put some kind of lose condition in here and at least make more of a game out of it, because if I can get the shots to reset, and I can do a little more dynamic stuff with this mode, this could actually end up being decent. I get rid of all the yard markers, don't even mean anything. Just make sure that when you hit your first shot, you do the 100.